Hi guys, Harry Otis here, professional trader for 20 years now. Started my career in 2005, still alive in 2026. So today, June the 15th, Monday, peace in the Middle East. Huge news over the weekend. Trump is a peacemaker now. Iran and the US have signed the Memorandum of Understanding that there's going to be peace soon in the Middle East. Let's see what happens. Okay, we're going to get to that soon and all of the implications that this involves. But first, we're going to talk about the technical picture. Guys, bullish. We need not go further. It was bullish this whole time because during this whole down move of 5%, we never violated the 50. Still above an upward sloping 50-day moving average. We were getting stretched from the 50 this whole move up. And, when the crash or the slight correction came of 5%, we approached it. Okay, we didn't actually touch it, so it could still go higher. The rule is that after you get to a new breakout, the first touch of the 50 is a good buying opportunity. We didn't get it yet, so we might get that opportunity going forward. Okay, so everything here is still bullish, technically speaking, nothing to worry about. Also, we had a gap up higher in the news. The question is now, do we continue to go higher? Will it be something like this? Because this big move after this huge 10% drop was unprecedented, extremely strong, and we noted how strong it is, and you want to be long. Will we get another gap up and go? I don't know. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we're going to be more choppy. As we go higher, we're going to retrace more often than we did here, because look here, from March 30th to the top here of June 2nd, we didn't have any pullback greater than 2%. I think this might have been 1%. So it's crazy. For, 2-3 months? Nothing. No fear. No fear in the bulls. Okay. Whereas this time, I think as we go higher, we're going to get more, I would say, more decent pullbacks. Okay. But first, yes, I still want to go higher. We have to break higher than the 760-ish level before I'm more confident. But this looks okay. It's like we could even cover this gap. We don't know. It doesn't have to play out like this. Okay, but the point is right now we are in bullish mode and we have room to go. Why? Because the sentiment here says that we have room to go. We're still in fear after this big move. We're nearing highs. Like we said before, when we reached 27 fear, it wasn't extreme, but it was low enough when we reached the 5% level here that any up move here, it wouldn't even bring it to, look, we had a huge up move for 2-3 days. Okay, from 725, which covered the gap here, to the current 755, let's say. So a 30-point move, and we're still in fear. Okay, we have plenty of room to go to extreme greed, which we never hit, by the way. Okay, so this is why we have plenty of room to go. Yes, the momentum is greedy because we're at highs, but everything else, we want to get the breadth there. And I'll have something to say about that going forward. Okay, we want to get everything else into greed. Okay. Besides just the momentum. This is just the price momentum, okay? So we have plenty of room to go. That's why as it went down to fear, it built up a lot of fuel, potential fuel. The fuel is between fear and extreme greed. This is the fuel that will make us go higher, okay? So that's very, very good. So still bullish, the sentiment is still on our side, okay? So let's get to peace in the Middle East and what this means, okay? So the Dow climbs more than 450 points for a record close as oil tumbles on potential Iran deal. Okay, so we had an Iran deal, and this is the deal basically. Trump details Iran deal at the G7, no nukes, conditional sanctions relief. So Iran will have no nuclear weapons under the deal. The agreement includes strong policing and enforcement powers. Okay, basically what we had before the war. He doesn't like Obama's JCPOA deal. Past U.S. payments to Iran were failed bribe attempt, but I guess the current payments are not. So sanctions relief will only happen if Iran complies with the terms. Okay, remember, this is just a memorandum of understanding that will be signed on this Friday, okay? So we're still not out of the woods yet. Something could happen, like maybe Israel comes in and starts bombing Lebanon, because part of the deal is for Israel to have no attacks on Lebanon. And whatever. So we'll see going forward. So Iran gets no money or relief for the deal, just for signing the deal. Opening the strait will take time due to clearing the mines, so it'll be 1 to 2 weeks. So time before it completely opens up. And he goes, more details will be released in 1 to 2 days. Okay, so basically there's a good deal. Both parties are happy with it. Iran looks like it's getting everything that it wants. There are other people here that say Arya Yadegar. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this person goes into the details here. If you can go, we won't get into it, but he has 14 points that basically say what the deal is, if it is to be trusted. And it looks like you can pause it, you guys, and read it on your own. We're not going to get into it. It's not that important. But basically, Iran gets a favorable deal, and the United States gets a safe face. Okay, so we don't really care about the details per se as traders. What we care about is that the war is over and we're going back to normal. Okay, and what that means going forward. Okay, so we do have peace in the Middle East. What does it mean for the markets? First, we check oil. Okay, oil was down today, but not that much, 3.5%. I was expecting more. Okay, this is probably because, people are still used to ceasefires and deals being broken when it comes to Iran in this war. So I don't think we need time to pass and the straits to open and the oil to flow and the spice to flow before we keep getting oil going down. Okay, because people are once bitten, twice shy. They don't want to get fooled again. So this looks like a great double top if it breaks these levels. If it breaks below this point here, let's mark it the spike low here. This spike low on April the 17th. Okay, if it breaks that, which it did, it touched it and bounced back. If it breaks that, we're going down to 65 again, 66 per barrel. But it's going to take time, weeks. Okay, like you said, 1 to 2 weeks at least before the strait opens up, and more as tankers keep going through and this news story fades into oblivion. We should see a gradual decline in the oil price, and that's good for the shorts. Okay. Of course, right away we saw interest rates. Okay, we're going to go to the Fed Watch tool here. I'm looking at all of December, since December 9th, 2026. So this is all of December, and we're getting close. It's this column here is no hike. This is 1 hike, 2 hikes, 3 hikes, and even a cut now is being priced in 0.6%. So it's pretty even between no hikes and 1 hike. Okay, and as it's the inflation expectations that are being unwound. Before we had if you look at it carefully, the hike column was at 67%, almost 2/3 of a hike, and it dropped to 58% of a hike. And this will continue to drop lower as we get this oil to go lower, okay? Because inflation expectations will tank, okay? You see the US 10-year now. We mentioned it before. It didn't go to new highs. Okay, look. It didn't penetrate the 4.72% on the US 10-year. It tried to do a lockstep move higher and got denied. Okay, around here, around a couple weeks ago, last week actually, even before the Memorandum of Understanding was being signed. Okay, so it's coming down. It's not 100%, but if time goes by, we should see this go all the way down to 4%. The US 10-year. It should be a good sign. Okay, Trump is going to get what he wants. His inflation expectations are going to go lower, as will the yields. Okay, so we have oil following the plan, yields following the plan. What about gold? That's another big unwind. We love gold, because now, as gold was tanking, we keep seeing that as it was tanking down and breaking levels, it looks very, very bad. We had the bullish percent down to 0. Now it's up to 7%. So only 7% of companies show bullish signs in terms of the point and figure graphs. So this looks very good. Gold did hit this 4,400 level, which was this high here, and got rejected because it is resistance. It's not going to rip through it. Okay, but eventually I see gold going to highs, into 5,000 and higher over time, over weeks, over months. We mentioned it. It's very, very low, very depressed. And we mentioned the charts always look terrible before gold makes a huge run. Everything gets oversold. Everybody look oversold. Everything looks bad. Except we did have positive divergence in the MACD. Not so in the RSI. So mixed stochastics. Everything fearful. This is why you want to buy it as you're going down, because you don't know when the turnaround will happen. Okay, so I still think this has the best potential going forward, because this sector has been completely washed out. Okay, so I like it. I've been buying, as you know. So what about the leader, the market leader, semiconductors? Look, another gap up, going to highs, new highs in the semiconductor space. However, I still think that the semiconductors will lag going forward compared to other sectors, because I expect as we go forward that the breadth will go from extreme fear to greed. And that means that other sectors will outperform. So relatively speaking, I think this sector doesn't perform as well because a lot of it is being priced in. Okay, we have a huge move already. And if you look carefully, we see the RSI and the MACD negative divergence as the price is going to new highs. Huge ground that has to make up before. I mean, if it really rips higher, maybe to like 700 or something, maybe this negative divergence gets outdone. But so far, we're at no new highs, and there's a lot of negative divergence that it has to overcome. Okay, so this is why I think this might be stalling. Okay, going forward, it might just drift higher slowly as the market keeps going higher and other sectors catch up. So this is where I don't think there's going to be a huge play to go. I think it lags. I mean, lagging doesn't mean that it loses money. It just won't go as high as the rest. Okay, in my opinion, I could be wrong. It just rips and continues to outdo, unwind, or completely ignore the negative divergence. It's very possible. Negative divergence doesn't have to play out. Just the odds are in your favor that it will, but it doesn't have to. Okay, and if it does go down, and fulfill the negative divergence, it doesn't mean it's going to go to new lows. It could just make a higher low and go higher. Okay, so just a very short-term indicator. So I think the semiconductors don't do as well going forward. They will still do okay, but they won't do as well. Okay, so those are my thoughts on this piece in the Middle East and in the unwind of this trade. And today I still wanted to mention SpaceX. Remember we were talking about SpaceX. Okay, new highs. It's at 192. It's up 21% right now. It's at 195 as we speak. You can see it here, the blue at 195 as we speak. We told you guys, institutions only got 1/4 of their allocation. They're going to be buying, and we don't know how long it's going to take. It could take a day, 2 days, a week, but there's going to be buying pressure on the stock going forward because institutions want to buy. And look, it wasn't even a lot of volume compared to the first day. It was just about 245 million shares to bring it up 20%. So, don't short it. It's not the time to short this stock, no matter how bad these fundamental analysts are on YouTube or on social media saying this is very overvalued. Yes, overvalued, but that just means that people want it even more. Okay, the PE is super high. Yes, we get it. The price to sales is over 100. Yes, we mentioned it. I went through it on a video. I just mentioned step by step the fundamentals, how bad they are, and the conclusion was you don't want to be selling it. You don't want to be shorting it, and you should be buying it in the beginning. Okay, for a trade. Okay, if you want to short it, it's not the time. Wait. Okay, in fact, I'm looking for a pullback to buy. Okay, when this hype goes out, this stock could be the next Tesla in terms of taking money from a tried and true stock that I like to trade, which is Tesla, and bringing it into SpaceX. Who knows? Okay, so these are my thoughts. You don't want to get in the way of multiple institutions buying the stock. Forget valuation. Okay, don't make your trading decisions based on valuation, especially if you're a trader. Okay, all right. So those are my thoughts. Peace in the Middle East. Let's hope it lasts until Friday. Let's hope nothing else happens to reverse this, because after this peace and war trade unwinds, which could take weeks and months, we are back to where we were before all this craziness. Okay, which is basically the fundamentals of a strong market. Okay, jobs still holding up, initial claims not doing much, earnings revisions for the S&P 500 revised upward for 2026 and for 2027. So the fundamentals are still very, very good. GDP at 2 to 3% growth, like we mentioned. All the fundamentals that drive stock prices up are still in play. Okay, so that's it, guys. Looking forward to tomorrow and the rest of the week. Later.